looking to make young men into kings, young women to queens, giving hope and belief that they could achieve whatever they want, whenever they want, however they want. Wake up and let's go. 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 When they telling you no, and you feel that it's over, look yourself in the mirror. Wake up and let's go.
Let's go. I'm Chris Woods, and this is the Let's Go podcast. My mission is to educate, encourage, and empower those who seek success. I aspire to inspire individuals to create, cultivate, and execute ideas. Today is Monday, so we're going to look at it like it's Motivational Monday. Today I just want to talk about people finding their purpose and understanding that just because you have shortcomings don't mean that you can't overcome and be great at whatever it is that you do. I think that one of the things that hinders people from being great is the fact that they will not ever admit that they do something wrong, and they really don't look too deep into what they do wrong. They just kind of ignore it, push it to the wayside, and keep moving on. But what we have to do is we have to use this knowledge of what we don't do well. So what we have to do first is seek understanding of your physical, mental, and spiritual shortcomings. Then once you identify what your shortcomings are, use that knowledge to create plans and design ways to overcome obstacles. Be progressive and transform yourself into a better version of you. You know, you have to understand that when you acknowledge and understand what you need to work on, then it's easier to work on it. Sometimes we just overlook what we can't do, and we try to stay away from the things that we can't do. But in order to be great, you have to focus on your flaws. You have to be willing to recognize what you do wrong and build on it. You see, I recognize all the time that I have to continue to strive for mental, physical, and spiritual development. But the thing of it is no matter what it is that I do, I die before I don't try. You got to try it. You got to give it a try. You got to do something. A lot of times we have people who are afraid to do something. You're afraid to take that step because either you're worried about not doing it well or worried about what somebody has to say. But I just get caught up when I'm trying to achieve something. I get caught up in doing it so much that I don't even worry about the outcome. I'm so busy trying to figure this stuff out. You see, and you must be willing to do that. You got to be willing to, I like to say, shed blood, tears, and perspiration, you know, to get to your destination. So that's the way that it is. Nothing comes to you without hard work and understanding what it is that you need to work hard at. It's good to, you know, the things that you are good at, you want to become great at, but the things that you do bad, you want to make sure that those things don't hinder you. So we have to acknowledge what it is that we do wrong. You have to be aware of what it is that you do wrong. In order to grow yourself, you must know yourself. Being cognizant of your capabilities and the capacity at which you operate allows you to plan accordingly for your future. It gives you an insight that you can take advantage of as you move forward. Because if you give yourself a chance, you could do anything. And a lot of times we don't even give ourselves a chance because we're so afraid of what we cannot do. And that's crazy to me. That's just crazy to me because at the end of the day, you watch people every day, they making the most out of their life and they doing something and you think they got it all together when they really don't. Like people we watch on TV, you think this person is just perfect. You look at somebody like a Beyonce and you see her out here shining, or you see somebody like LeBron James and you see him out here shining, but you think these people don't have insecurities, and they do. The problem is they work on their insecurities so much that it becomes a strength. Whereas people who do not achieve, what they do is they're afraid of what they can't do. They stay away from it. And our fears it's like handcuffs. We allow our fears to paralyze us from moving forward. And you can't be afraid. Like it's crazy to me that somebody's afraid to move forward and to try something new. You know, I look at, when I look at everything that's going on back in my hometown, in my neighborhood, in East Chicago, in West Calumet, how, people are being forced to move and forced to venture out. And it's amazing to me how many people are resisting that move. Like, they just don't want to go. And, like, sometimes we got to break loose. I look at every tragedy as, look at the silver lining. For years, people have complained that there's nothing in East Chicago. Now you have a chance to get out of East Chicago, and you don't want to leave it. This could be a blessing in disguise, a chance for you to get out, conquer your fears, and see something new. And who knows what's waiting on you when you get out there. But we are so afraid of what might go wrong that we miss out on what might go right. I've never been afraid to venture off and to just do something different. When I first went off to college, I went to college all the way out in Utah. People from East Chicago were looking at me like I was crazy because I'm going to Utah. Why not? Why wouldn't I go? I'm not afraid of what's going to be waiting for me on the other side because I believe in me. And because I have, over the years, I have broken myself down to the point to where I recognize what I do wrong. I recognize what I need to work on. And when you recognize the things that you need to work on and you start working on your weaknesses, there's nothing nobody can do to break you down. If somebody look at you and tell you, you can't read, okay, that's funny today, but I'm going to go home every day. I'm going to keep on working on my reading until tomorrow. Now I'm going to be the best reader in class. You see, we can't be afraid to do things out loud because everybody's sitting around. All of us got flaws. All of us are broken in some way, shape, or form. I don't care. You see somebody and they got all the money, in the world in their pocket. But them people broke in the inside too. It's things that they need to work on as well. So don't allow your fears to stop you from doing what you want to do. Don't allow your fears to hold you back. Don't allow being afraid, because the only thing that's going to happen at the end of the day, you're going to be 60 years old looking back, I wish I would have did that. That's the one thing that I told myself that I would not do to me. That's the one thing that I told myself. I promised myself as a child that I would not do that to myself. I am going to do everything that I want to do in life. I am not going to look back at my life and be like, I wish I would have did something. I'm going to do it. And the worst thing that you want to do is look back at your life and be like, I wish I would have worked harder. Because that's just dumb, because working hard is free. Everybody could do that. Now, it's some stuff that you may be hindered from doing because you may not have the funds to do it, or you may not have the resources, but everybody has a resource to work hard. So don't allow your fear of the unknown to stop you from working hard to get to what you want, where you want to get to. Having the understanding to evaluate your personality, your emotions, your beliefs, that will help you transcend any obstacles that you may encounter. A lot of times we are afraid to break ourselves down. We're afraid to look in the mirror and point out everything that's wrong with us. We're afraid to do that. But how do you fix something if you do not find the flaws? How do you fix something if you do not find the flaws? I know I got a few friends who are into real estate and they're into flipping houses. So the first thing they do when they acquire a property is they go through the house and they look at everything that's wrong. And they ain't afraid of the stuff that's wrong. They looking at it because they looking at, man, as soon as I fix this, and I fix this, man, I got this house for $10,000. After I get done fixing all this little stuff, this house going to be worth $150,000. And that's the same way we got to look at ourselves. We have to be willing to fix us, because the outcome can be, it's infinite. You are worth more than you know you are worth, but you're afraid to focus on your flaws and fix your flaws to become better. You so worried about trying to be perfect for everybody else that you don't take the time to fix yourself. And that's the one thing that we have to be willing to do, is just step out and do something different. You can't be afraid. Like I said, I will die before I don't try. Anything, I'm going to do it. I'm going to try it. The worst thing that somebody could do is be like, oh, that's stupid. So what? I tried it and it's over with. And I'm going to try something else, and I'm going to keep trying until something happens. And that's what we have to be willing to do. You have to be willing to do some stuff that's going to take you outside of your comfort zone, because I can guarantee you that everything that you really want in life, the stuff that you really want in life, is outside of your comfort zone. It's somewhere that you ain't never been before. It's going to be somewhere that you have never been before. You're going to have to do something that you've never done before. And a lot of times we're afraid to do that. We're afraid to push ourselves to the limit, because you don't want to try something so hard then it don't work. And then now you looking like a failure, but you're not a failure, because you're going to learn something from that. So if you do something and you do it as hard as you can do it and it don't work out, so what? I worked my whole life as a child. I had this dream. I wanted to play in the NBA. I worked as hard as I could to do it. Everything that I knew in my power to do, I did it. I didn't make it to the NBA. So what? I'm not ashamed that I didn't make it to the NBA. I worked so hard, but I still was able to experience the world. I experienced the world. So what some people may consider a failure, I look at it on the bright side. I worked so hard to try to get to the NBA, it didn't work. But guess what? I lived in 7 different countries. I done traveled to more places than I could even count, because I was trying to get somewhere and it didn't work out for me. But I put myself outside of my comfort zone. I was willing to grind so hard and be tired and sore and achy and go to places where people thought that, I had no business being, just because I had a goal. And that's the thing of it. If you have a goal, that's all you need to focus on is your goal. You can't focus on what might go wrong. Again, like I said, let's focus on what can go right. Let's focus on what can go right. What's going to hurt you? Like, I could say this as a person. Right now I'm working on my master's degree. I hate school. Like, I hate school to death. I do not like school. I hate it. But I'm working on my master's degree because it's things that I want to learn, and that's taking me outside of my comfort zone, because I do not want to sit around and learn about stuff pretty much that I already know. But it's some stuff within the stuff that I already know that's helping me get better. So as I move forward, going outside of my comfort zone, going to school, is going to open up some doors for me that's going to get me to where I want to go. It's going to get me to where I want to go. And in the end, that's all I can ask of you, is to challenge yourself to focus on your flaws, fix your flaws, and turn yourself into $1 million work of art. A lot of us are afraid to do that, but we have to start picking ourselves apart and start talking to your friends and asking them, man, what you think I need to work on as a person? Tell me the truth. What do you think I need to work on? And you can't take offense to what they tell you, because what you have to realize is that people who love you will tell you the truth about you, but you have to be willing to accept the truth about you. You see, like I said, when my friends, when they go into these houses to go fix them, they want to know everything that's wrong with this house just so they could fix it, because a lot of times it's an easy fix. And when you fix these things, you look at them and you figure out, man, this ain't really nothing. But people on the outside who scared to flip houses, they look at it and be like, nah, that's too much work. That's too much work. And that's how we look at it when we need to start working on trying to flip ourselves. But see, we don't want to cash in. We too worried about the work. We too worried about the work to try to fix ourselves. All of us, each and every one of us, myself included, we have things that we need to work on. The one thing about me is I have no problem with asking someone, hey, what you think about me? What do I need to work on? What are some things that I do that I could be doing better? And I think that if we start taking that time to work on ourselves, then we can make our situations better. We can make everything around us better. Because in order to be ready to help someone else, you have to help yourself first. A lot of times we running around trying to fix everything around us, but we not in order. So focus on your own flaws first, and then once you focus on your own flaws, then you could be a great help to somebody else. You could be a great help to somebody else. And on top of that, when somebody see you grinding, when somebody see you working and you setting that example, you never know how you inspire somebody else. You never know how you inspire somebody else. I call him my friend now, but it was a kid I used to mentor. And he told me, he was like, man, when I was a kid, I looked up to you. It's like, not because of nothing you had, but it was about everything that you did. I saw you working so hard trying to obtain your goals, so I worked hard and tried to attain mine. And that's why I followed you around. I was thinking like, I wasn't doing it knowing that this kid was watching me, but he was. And I inspired him by working on me because I saw some things that I need to work on, and I worked on them. So a lot of times, if you want to be of help to somebody else, help yourself first. Help yourself first. What they tell you when you're on the plane, put your mask on first before you try to save somebody else. And that's the thing. And I think that if we start doing that as a community, our communities will grow. If we start working on ourselves as a community, I think that it will grow. But what happens so much within our own community, we always trying to fix somebody else instead of trying to fix ourselves. And that's the biggest thing that we got to start instilling in our kids, to focus on themselves. Focus on themselves. You can't worry about what your teacher doing, what your coach doing, what your parents doing, what they doing in the neighborhood. Focus on yourself. Know yourself, then grow yourself. And you can't worry about nothing else but being the best you that you could be. Because people going to hate on you. They're going to talk bad about you. That's what people do. It ain't no way around that. Somebody going to say something negative about you. But the thing of it is that when you already know what your flaws are and you aware of yourself, can't nobody put you down about that. Because if somebody say something bad about you, what's quote unquote bad, you can say, I'm working on it. And while they talking bad about you, asking what you think I need to do to get better at that. That was my main thing as a basketball player. When I played basketball, somebody told me that I couldn't do something, and they followed with no instructions on how to get better at that, I never listened to them again. But if somebody told me I couldn't do something, my follow-up question would be, how do I get better at it then? I'm going to be at the gym at 3 o'clock. Can you come and show me? Because I was focused on me. I was focused on my flaws and trying to prepare my flaws to be my strengths. So that's what we have to start doing as people outside of sports and anything else. We got to start focusing on the things that we cannot do, get better at those things, and then that'll help us grow and develop and progress as people. I always said that proper preparation prevents poor performance. So we got to focus on the flaws. We got to prepare our flaws to help us progress. I just want to remind everybody to work hard, work smart, and work consistent for what you want, because it will not come to you without a fight. There's definite anguish involved in achievement. Understand that if you want to take the prize, you must be willing to take the pain. You must commit, you must connect, and you must be in covenant with progressing towards your maximum potential. One thing is for certain, hard work is hard. And two things are for sure, proper preparation prevents poor performance, and unless you become acquainted with hard work, you cannot expect to meet success. If you are willing to invest your time, your energy, and your effort, you could do anything you put your mind to. Never stop believing, never stop working, and always remember it is the struggle that makes you strong. Obstacles cannot stop you. Problems cannot stop you. Most of all, other people cannot stop you. The only one who can stop you is you. You have the power to be as great as you want to be. Believe in yourself. Be dedicated, be determined, be disciplined, and remember, success is waiting on you. Let's go.
Looking to make young men into kings, young women to queens, giving hope and belief that they could achieve whatever they want, whenever they want, however they want. Wake up and let's go. 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 When they telling you no, and you feel that it's over, look yourself in the mirror. Wake up and let's go.